And mom. Your thing way cleaner than mine. Round up family. So yeah, fine. What's going on, Bubba? Bubba being nice, you want to go to McDonald's tomorrow.
I heard you say nothing this morning. Almost made killing stuff.
And just cutting up. Cutting up. You say hello over here. Round up family, what's good? What's good, Round up fam? See if I can get my boy Will on here real quick. See where he's
Who's
at.
Will?
Will is a
Is it
fellow.
the word? Ow.
Hmm?
It's his name. Willo.
That's right.
He has an easy name to spell. It's like a word too.
Hmm?
It's a word too.
It is a word. Go ahead, Round up family. Good evening. Good evening. Oh, these stickers, you put them on there. Oh, Taylor put them on there. I don't know. I don't need those stickers on. Y'all put this on my stuff. I don't need this on my stuff. Hey, Roundup family. Good evening. I'm here once again, just here to pour into you. Will, where you at? I'm not. Where you at? So, Will, I sent you a link. Just come on whenever you're ready. What's up? Say hello. We can do a little bit. Let's go. 9:40. Bedtime for you, cuz. Bedtime for you, little boy. I got a file here for you, Roundup family. I can't wait to read some of this stuff. Oh my lord.
What's cracking?
For you. Hey, Will.
Hey, what's up, bro?
I'm blessed. How you doing? Everything good? Where you at, by the way, brother Will?
What's up, bro?
How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
You got to mute that other one.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
Okay, you're an expert at this.
Let me see. All right.
Lights be getting some business.
I'm in Ohio, man. Columbus, Ohio.
Thanks. Okay. Roundup family, welcome. I'm hanging out with my boy Will, fellow entrepreneur slash Hamptonian.
Hampton, HU.
Yes, this is an honor to hang out with you tonight, my friend.
Likewise, bro.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the future holds for us.
You know what I'm saying? Something good for sure.
Yeah, man, I'm so honored. It's cool. You see somebody get them off in that path. Where did you stay when you were on campus? Where did you matriculate?
When I was at Hampton,
Were you first do the Harkness or James guy?
I was a Pierce guy.
Oh, you was uppity.
Yeah, right. Pierce, we ain't have no AC. We ain't have no telephone. Well, we had telephones that just got there. It was grimy in Pierce Hall, but you know, survive.
Pierce to what?
Thurgood.
Marshall. Okay, man, you
Thurgood.
good.
That year went by so fast, man. Yeah, that year went by so fast. It was crazy. And I moved off campus after that. How about you? You was in James Hall?
Nah, man, I was fortunate, I think, to be in Harkness Hall.
Yeah.
I went to Du Bois. Only co-ed going on campus.
Boys, yeah, one of my homies stayed in there.
Really?
Yeah. The boys. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Roundup family, hanging out with my friend Will Moss. He's a fellow entrepreneur and an internet slash real estate guy, just like me. I'm excited. Tonight, I forgot. Don't forget tomorrow, my Memorial Day sale starts 12 noon. All my stuff, all my training documents will be on sale around that family. Just go to chrishaskins.com. chrishaskins.com. And Will and I are cooking up some good stuff for you too to help you get paid also.
Yeah.
My mission, my ministry around that family is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. Tonight, I just want to show you some horror stories. I was talking to Will earlier, and I promise you, he's got some horror stories for me about HOAs. Brother Will, tell me a little bit about your background so my family will get to know you a little bit, my friend.
Yes, sir. So the interesting thing, Chris and I didn't know each other at Hampton. I think we overlapped a little bit. I came out in 1995.
Yeah.
So we went to school together at the same school at Hampton. When I came out, I had such a good experience at Hampton. I wanted to do something to kind of give back to that HBCU experience. I started a social networking site called hbcuconnect.com. I did that at the same time I was doing the corporate job thing as a computer programmer. I quit the day job in 2004 and started running the website full time. When the website started doing well, saved up, six figures, and wanted to invest in some other things. And right about the time when I wanted to move out of a condo I was in, the real estate market was down.
What year was that, Will?
2010. I wanted to buy a house and move out of my condo.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was, long story short, I was going to lose about $40,000 if I had sold my condo.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like, instead of panicking, like a lot of people were panicking and they were letting their houses go because they were underwater,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it the opposite way. I looked at it like, whoa, if they're saying mine is worth that much below, and I knew it was artificial. I knew my condo was worth every bit of what I paid for it because there's somebody willing to pay for that. There's nothing changed other than, some superficial stuff in the economy and people scared, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I knew it was artificial. So I was like, I turned into a shark. And all those people that were walking away from their homes, I decided I'm gonna be the opposite and I'm gonna start grabbing some of the real estate. So I started looking at real estate. And I turned that into a rental. I turned that condo I was in into a rental and realized it wasn't that bad. And then I started buying up real estate. So I bought my first shot. I bought four properties, and then I bought another 30. No, I brought probably more than that because I flipped a bunch of them. About 30-some properties over the next from 2010 up until about 2017.
Nice.
So I've done flips and rentals. I kept about 20 rentals, and I flipped everything else.
Good. And keep it successful. I love to hear that.
Yes, sir.
We were talking about that earlier. Like when you get cash, you can make as much money as you want. But if you're sinking it into something, man, you're in trouble.
The crazy thing, if I had not have flipped those houses, I would have had probably my net worth would have been an additional couple million if I didn't flip. You see, so like, I really, I had my reasons. Like I was paying off taxes and stuff like that, and I flipped some. But if I had kept them, I would have had a couple $1 million in equity.
Unreal. Yeah, we look back and we say, what were we thinking?
I don't look back that often, but when I do, hindsight is 20/20.
All right, so let's get the horse story. I'm reading here, man. I can't wait to read this. We had to sue one of our. We had to literally sue and take all of our board to court. I'm looking at how much money they extorted here, but I want to talk about yours before I get to my stuff.
Man, yours sound worse than mine. Mine sound like some baby stuff compared to that.
I'm looking here in the paper. Well, go ahead. Well, let's see. One of the things we were talking about, renters versus buyers, does one of your stories fall under any of these? I think it's falling under this one, right?
Yeah, multiple homes, definitely.
Yeah, let's rock with that one. We'll start with that one, my friend.
And then also rental restriction falls under that.
Rental restrictions, being able to rent. Yeah, that's right. You just said
yeah. Both of those two. Okay,
let's give it a shot. Let's start with read the one you want to, my friend.
I mean, I dealt with the property repair issues too, because them HOAs would send you those letters. Them HOAs would send you letters to fix stuff. And you gotta pay for it. They gotta review it. They charge you late fees. I mean, HOAs are a trip, but okay.
Let me read this one before we get to that. Dear
Yep.
Mr. Haskins, the board of directors at blank, I don't want to tell you what it is, would like to inform you that in accordance with the architectural guidelines and the bylaws, a lien of $900 will be placed on your property for failure to comply with the request. So this is, it's real.
How fast did they send that? How fast did they send that? They give you any time?
Yeah, they gave me, I mean, well, yeah, they might have sent me a few notices, man, but I get them, you know, I don't know. I can't even remember, to be honest.
Like the power.
You know, you fight back and you're like, I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. They thought there was something wrong with it. And they were bullying me.
Yeah.
Basically, they called, one of them was like, man, you rich, you got a rental property, you making money, wow. Wow. They really think. So hit it, Will. Let's talk with you.
All right. Okay. So
Rental restrictions.
yeah, rental restrictions and owning multiple properties within a community. So like the issues that I have most of the time with HOAs, I have two types of properties in my portfolio, really three, but one is single family home, and the single family homes I have are usually in subdivisions, and almost all of them are houses that are newer than the year 2000. So those new subdivisions, almost all of them had HOAs. Some of the older subdivisions, they don't have HOAs anymore. All right.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
So I really don't have that many problems with the single family home HOA associations, because all they want is their $100 a year and to send you some notices. If you don't cut your grass, they're gonna say cut your grass and stuff like that.
Small stuff.
For the condo associations, they are aggressive. So I have the second type of home in my portfolio is condos, and there's two types of condos. Freestanding condos, which are like houses in a condo community, and they have like a condo bylaws and legal standing or whatever to be condos, but they're like little houses or whatever, like cookie cutter type houses in a condo community, and they might have like a swimming pool or something like that, right?
Okay.
And then I have your typical condos that you see like on the East Coast that have you know, like they're not freestanding, they're attached. Yeah.
Attached. Okay.
Yeah, like they look like apartments basically.
Gotcha.
So both of the HOAs in those condos, both of them are aggressive, man. So the biggest problem that I had that actually became sort of a scare for me was that first condo I was talking about earlier. The one that I turned into a rental. I used to live there. I turned it into a rental.
Live in it, bought it to live in it.
I lived in it. Then I turned it into a rental. And when I got out of there, I was one of the first people to rent my condo.
Okay.
The whole neighborhood was new. So nobody said anything. I don't even know if I had to register it as a rental with the HOA. Nobody.
When you say registered, what do you mean, Will?
They have like a list of
Owners
that are renting their place out. And when that list gets to a certain size, they start panicking, and what they don't want is they don't want their condo community to turn into a renter. Yeah, renter versus buyers. And actually I had like, you know how that goes, like homeowners that are mad that they're next door to a rental, and then they start taking it out on the tenants and stuff. I've had those issues, police getting called and all that stuff. But with the HOA though, the main, like, number one issue I had one time was I was starting to acquire property all over my zip code. And the best deals were actually in that condo community where I was at.
Let me stay here first, and then we'll get to the multiple joints. Let me stay here. When you get, are we here yet? Are we here or are we here?
Well, we getting into rental restriction, and it's kind of like both, because I had one at first.
Okay, all right.
Then I got.
Well, you rented that one out, so you're good there. No problems.
No problem.
All
right. Then I grabbed the second one.
Okay.
No, I grabbed two at the same time.
Wow.
Two more.
Okay.
They were so cheap, man. It was like one was 50 grand and one was 25.
Now we're at 3 units in the same sub.
Yeah, same subdivision.
All right.
And I had 3 units, and then I was going to go buy my fourth.
Okay.
And so I hadn't registered those as rentals yet because I was doing rehab on them. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have to deal with the HOA yet. So I was going to buy the fourth one, And by the time I was going to buy the fourth one, I was bidding on it. Then those two that I had, I wanted to register them as rentals.
So you're going down. Do you do that in person or is that in writing?
In writing. Yeah, I didn't have to go down in person. I've been down and seen them before, but I was doing it in writing. And then at the same time that this was going on, a bunch of people were losing their homes in that community.
Foreclosure.
Yep, a bunch of foreclosures was happening, and then bids was happening on those houses, and I'm one of the sharks in there trying to bid. Right, so I'm trying to get as many of those properties as I can, and so are a bunch of other people. So now the HOA like woke up all of a sudden, and they're like, oh, all of these people are starting to get these houses, and they're getting all this HOA activity, and so I guess they started looking at their bylaws and rules and stuff, and there was a percentage of the community. So let's say there's 100 condos, only like 10% could be rentals or something like that. I don't remember what the exact number was. And so you basically, once that number was hit, you had to get on a waiting list. And one person could not own more than 2 condos, and that's what I came up against.
So you got hit by 1, 2 things in the same condo association.
Yeah, for sure. Because I was trying to buy more than the allowed amount of condos, and there was the list, like space was running out on how many rentals could be in there before there was a waiting list.
So tell me what happened. How many units could one person own?
2.
Tell me how this is play. How does this play out? Because you already have 3.
So I lucked up. So they found out I was the same person that was buying them, right?
But that mean the company name or a trust or something?
That's how I lucked up. The first one was in my personal name. The second 2 were in my business name.
Oh.
But they didn't know the difference because I'm the same person emailing them and everything. But they sent me the letter to say, hey, we're getting ready to take you to court because you can't own this many rentals in our community. And I had to fight them back, and I had to show them that I'm 2 different legal entities that own these properties. Mm-hmm. And when they saw that I was posturing to fight back and that I probably would win, they backed off.
Oh.
Yeah, but they threatened. I mean, they had their lawyer write me letters. On that 4th deal that I was getting ready to secure, they definitely got in the way of that. Like they basically blocked that deal because I would have had 3. But in retrospect, I could have bought it. I would have just flipped it. I would have just held it in and flipped it. They would have made me sell it, but I would have sold it. But not after I rehabbed it, made a little profit.
So how does it feel, Will, to have to answer to someone that you are renting out one of your own units?
Man, I understand what HOAs are there for. They want to maintain a certain atmosphere in the community so that the home values stay high, right? Mm-hmm. But not everything in their bylaws and stuff support that mission. A lot of stuff in their bylaws are just people's ideas of what really makes a difference, but it's not necessarily facts. So like it was an eye opener for me, man, because I was a new investor. I'm like, damn, these people are gonna stop me from making maximum, bucks and stuff.
Wow.
But I didn't, I was like, I'm not going to court with these people. I basically left. I basically took my hands off of that community and focused on elsewhere. So I've never had to go to court with them, but I've had run-ins and fees and you name it, you know what I'm saying? But the
problem is what we pay for the attorney. I mean, they have attorney on staff, and they're paying for it out of the fees that we're paying for the dues.
Yeah, I did have to pay some attorney fees one time too.
I had to do that.
Yeah, I did have to do that, fighting over the issue that you're talking about with property repair in another community. Yeah, they got me.
So renters versus buyers. Do you know regarding the accreditation for certain lenders being able to loan to buyers that can buy the units in the complex? And Rounded Family, if you're just joining us, I'm hanging out with Will Moss today. We're talking about HOA. If you don't know what HOA is Homeowners Association nightmares. Just want to kind of bring you up to speed of what to look out for when you're going to buy a property that's in a homeowners association.
Yeah, that's big.
Will, when you got these I'm trying just to not share my story. I want to stay on you for a little while. When you cross a certain percentage of rentals versus buyers, is that going to have something to do with the accreditation and how many lenders will lend in this certain HOA?
Yeah, I think it's FHA has guidelines for loans, and I didn't learn that until I was trying to beat them up back. Like they beat me up, so I was like, let me beat them up back. And I was like, why is it that you even have this limit in the first place on the percentage of rentals versus owners in the community? And they explained to me that people cannot buy those homes with certain types of loans, like FHA loans, if there's more rentals than a certain threshold. And I actually looked up the legal, wording in the HOA bylaws,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw it there, and that was one of their concerns because they wanted to make the community available to people to get loans and that kind of thing. So yeah, I learned that way, but I didn't know anything about it before. I came up against the HOA.
That's something, Will. You gotta. I guess that's so I'm glad. I'm so glad I'm talking to you because I have a friend. Like when we're buying cash, Will, and private lenders, there is no guidelines for the loan. Or a hard money guy. They don't care about this stuff.
Right.
But we have to get out of them, though, Will. We got to get out of them sometimes.
Yeah.
And if you go, matter of fact, I know a friend that bought 3 of these. I just wanted to share. He bought 3 of these units in the HOA that had that percentage was too high. And
He couldn't rent them.
no, not only he could rent them, but he couldn't sell them. He bought them to sell them. But no lenders would loan in there because there's too many rentals.
Oh, dang. So he got stuck.
Got stuck with them,
So
Will.
he would get buyers, and the buyers would go to get their loan, and they'd be like, sorry, we're not doing no loans in that community.
Can't get that. They got the mortgage brokers. They have a list of every HOA has a list with the mortgage lenders. They go down, man. If you're not accredited, like sometimes VA won't loan there, FHA, certain lenders. I know for a fact. I'm gonna get to some of that stuff. But have you ever run into that problem trying to get out of one?
No, because in those communities, that's why they had the rule. So I couldn't even get,
Mm.
you know what I mean? I couldn't even get on the.
They're trying to control that.
Yeah. Now that's bad though because the only people that are going to be able to buy are cash buyers and the investors. And investors want deals. They don't want to pay retail.
Drive the prices down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, class, Roundup family, I wanted you to know that before you buy, this is the big one here. Number one, know how many renters are in your community versus buyers. You better know. You better know. I'm telling you, my boy got hemmed up. He's called me up, Chris. I got these 3 units. I can't sell them.
Can he rent them?
Well, at this particular place, he could rent them, but he didn't buy them to rent them. Like, he had hard money on one.
Oh, yeah, you can't. Nah, you ain't gonna make money. Ooh.
Yeah, it turned out to be a nightmare. He bought cash one and hard. He couldn't get out of them. He had to hold on to them, and which can just imagine you got 150,000 cash to run your business. You buy these units for 50, think you're going to sell them for 80. You go sell them. Your money's locked up. You're done. You're out of business. Your business is stopped.
Yeah, you can't because you can't make any more purchases. Wow. Yeah, HOAs are. Now, see, the HOA should have maybe helped them out on that one.
Man, you think they get, huh?
They should have helped him out on that one before he closed.
Man, shoot. You know how we are. We got a deal. I got a deal. I got this great deal. We're going to close. You don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Renters versus buyers around that family. You better go. And it's just simple. All it is a phone call. You call down there. You say how many rentals versus owners are in this, and they'll tell you. They'll tell you right on the phone.
Yeah, that's true.
It's for me. So Will already covered owning multiple units. You need to. Oh, and you can. This is another one. Will, you can ask him how many units can one person own in here?
In my particular community, it was 2.
2. Okay. And they'll tell you. I have them check me over the phone.
Now, me and I ain't gonna incriminate nobody.
Yeah.
But we, the one thought was for me to create another entity to buy the other houses.
Like a trust, maybe, yeah, probably do that.
But I just was like, you know what, I'm not even gonna fool with them.
You don't want to be, it's just too much.
Yeah.
So only ask this Ground Up family, And we're gonna get to some quick Q&A at the end. If you got Q&A about HOAs or wills, experiences or mine, we'll get to that also. Ask how many units can one entity own? And the next one is rental restrictions. Is that something that you fell under too, Will?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me hear that one.
So there's how many properties you can own in a community, and then how many rentals are allowed in that community before there becomes a waiting list for you to be able to rent your property out. But in some cases, the HOA would have a hardship rule. And what that is if you were getting ready to lose your home, you could rent your property out for 1 year under hardship so that you wouldn't lose your home. So they put that little provision in there. But other than the hardship scenario, once that maximum number of rentals in the community was hit, they won't let you. So if you own a property in there and you plan on renting it out and there's a waiting list, you legally can't rent it out. You could do it under the table, but as soon as they find out about it, you know.
They're gonna send your tenant, they're gonna take them to court and evict your tenant.
Yeah, exactly.
That's weird.
And your tenant could probably sue you.
You know, it's weird. I'm like, I consider, I'm an investor, I do what I want, right? I mean, you know our attitude. But these boys got some power, dog.
Yeah, the HOAs, they got stuff locked up.
They do.
So
yeah. I wanted to tell you about, you know, on King Street, right, as you're going towards the base. There's a building on the left, right on the water down there, that I almost went to closing. I was getting ready to go into closing, my friend. I was buying it for like 30. I was going to resell it, but I'm like,
residential? Residential or commercial?
Oh, it's a condo. It's a building with condos.
Okay.
Yeah, condos. So I was getting ready to go to closing, first my AMD, and I asked the lady, I'm like, is there anything I need to know about this building that might not be landlord friendly? She goes, well, I'm going to tell you, we don't allow rentals. I'm on the phone with the lady, Will. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. No rentals in this building.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Like people think they can just buy something and do what you want, but sometimes if there's an HOA involved, you better know what them HOA rules are.
Yeah. So
what happened with that one?
Well, I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to weigh it out. It's like 30,000, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, suite on a water. Well, I'm looking at you're looking at
the bay.
Langley Air Force Base as it goes into the bay.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. I'm like, do I want to argue with these people? I had already started running my virtual ads. I had listed it on Section 8. And I had calls, people lined up to go in there. I went over there, sat around. I would go down there and just hang out on the stairs. It's not too many small. I think it may have 30 units. Not a lot of those in Hampton. I'll just go sit on the stairs, just talk to people as they come and going. Every person that I met was owners. And I met one owner said that they tried to rent it out, and the HOA filed an unlawful detainer, filed an eviction against his tenant. Got him out. I'm like, you know what? If they can do that, I don't know if I want to go up against these beasts.
They got you in an episode of Punk.
Man, crazy. So I said, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I just walked away from that one.
So what about a flip scenario in that one? Would you have made out okay in a flip?
Yeah, well, actually, I had a coaching client that did one. The only reason it was on my radar, coaching client had already did one, bought it for 30, sold it for 85. I know you could do that, but there's another problem here that with that accreditation thing. I went to my lender, and the only lender that was accredited was VA and conventional.
For that community?
For that building, yeah, that building was building/HOA/condo association, because it's all in that one building. And FHA would not lend to this place. I think it was because of the height. Hampton, we have flood areas and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The height of the building was too low. And let me tell you, oh yeah, I forgot about this one. Special assessment fee. Remember I told you this building was on the water?
Yeah.
So they were getting ready to build a dock. It was an old, decrepit, falling down dock.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
They had I had actually visited this place, the HOA department. They had this thick file, Will. They had this file, dude. Thick. I walked in there. They were like, "Yeah, we want to show you our master plan for the next 5 years. We plan on tearing down the dock and building a new fishing pier back there for you guys. It's going to be $380,000."
HOA fees.
I'm like, okay. At first, I'm like excited. I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna get a place. I'm gonna get a new place. Maybe I can just go have it. It's like a second place. I can go hang out. Got my dock. Go fishing. She goes, and everybody's special assessment is going to be X dollars. I can't remember. So they take that 380,000 and divide it by 33, and they slam it on everybody. And the HOA here was already 301.
Dang, that's high. That's super high for a $30,000. Come on.
Super high, man. I don't know why. I think because it was on the building was on pylons. It was it was in the water, so close to the water was raised up. So she said, yeah, the special assessment for all that, whatever, 10,000, whatever. I'm like, and they can just whack it on you. I had a place in New Jersey one time. They did a repair to the building, and they sent me a $3,000 bill. Has that ever happened to you?
At my office condo, where my base is, I have an office condo. They do that a lot over there. For my residential stuff, I haven't had. Most of them stayed about the same.
Gotcha.
But I did have. There's one where it's super high because they have some like real world class facility for like weightlifting and all this kind of stuff in a swimming pool.
Yes.
And the water bill is included in my HOA fee, which is kind of weird. Yeah,
it was included here.
So, but you bring up a good point, man. Like, there's some stuff people don't think about because, like, one time my brother, he rented a condo in Florida, in Miami, bro. And what happened? Here's some crazy stuff, right? This is definitely an HOA nightmare, but it wasn't for me, the landlord. It was for the tenant in this case, or the owner. It could have been the landlord, yeah, for that landlord, right?
Mm-hmm.
This particular scenario, when the economy was down, the condos, there's a bunch of condos in Miami, right? It's a condo city.
Everywhere, yeah.
So the condo fees stay stable if all of the condos are filled up.
You're talking about if they have tenants or owners in occupancy?
Yeah, if they got owners in all of the condos paying their condo fees, the condo fees stay steady. But in Miami, people started defaulting on everything. They stopped paying condo fees. They started letting their stuff go to the bank, right? And letting the condos go. And a bunch of condos are empty, and no condo fees are getting paid. So my brother stayed in a condo where that situation happened in the building, and most of the condos were empty and not paying the HOA fees. So the people that actually did pay the HOA fees that were still there, their HOA fees like tripled or quadrupled.
To compensate for the
yeah,
people that weren't paying?
Yes, bro.
Oh my Lord.
Yes, bro. Condo fees skyrocketed to like $700 or $800 a month. It was probably more than that. It was probably more than that. In Miami, like $600-700 is normal for condo fees. HOA.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, people weren't paying the bills, and people weren't living there. They didn't have enough money to pay all the building elevator expenses or whatever is in the building expense, and so everybody that was left had their condo fees skyrocketed.
They just looking for whoever the closest pocket to dig in.
Yeah, it was disaster.
Unbelievable. I'm presuming that you get those letters in the mail. It's like, what do you do? What do you do? You gotta pay it, dude. I mean, what are you gonna do? They're gonna slap a lien on your place. Then when you go sell it, you gotta pay it, right?
The crazy thing about it is, if it was me and it was my condo, I would be like, all right, what I'm gonna do, my plan is gonna be, I'm gonna buy all of the empty ones. I would have tried to buy all the empty ones, but then the HOA might have a rule where you can't do that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Then you're stuck.
Wow.
Then you're stuck.
Crazy. All right, so rental restrictions, we covered that one. And I'm probably going to have to do a part 2 to this because I didn't even get to the story I really wanted to do. We already been on it.
Quiet, man. Go ahead.
No, you good. You good. I can't even know. Property repairs. Real quick, we were talking about the special assessment repairs. So they can do round up family. They can do repairs to the building, or if you're in a neighborhood, they can do repairs and just send you the bill. So just be prepared for special assessments.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Let's see what I got here. Anything else that you had to cover, Will, on your nightmares that we missed for you? I like to hear. I love it, man.
Man, one of your Sam Patterson in your comments had an interesting comment. He said they vet people. Like you gotta have a certain credit score and all that. It's crazy.
Oh, the HOA? He's the reason I'm doing this. Sam brought this up to me. He's the reason that I should have done this a long time ago.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean it's one of those things that if you're not careful, like you can get caught in a situation with dealing with HOAs. Mm-hmm. It's not in anybody's interest to tell you that either, really. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't care. Like the HOA doesn't care if you get caught. Your realtor wants to close. The title company wants to do the deal, right?
Yep.
So they already got selected to do the deal. They want to get paid and do the deal. So if they tell you some crazy stuff that, you get stuck, they don't cover that with their title insurance. I'm sure. I doubt that's in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the only person that could tell you is if you had an independent lawyer to go over the HOA before you close. And if you're buying a condo, you might want to, you should look at the HOA bylaws if you're buying a condo.
Mm-hmm. Well, we get those thick bylaws, Will, and who goes and reads through that stuff?
Until you've been screwed by it.
Then you go back and you're like,
right. I sure did, bro.
After or before?
During. Yeah, during. I was over there reading that thing, buddy.
Wow. All right, I'll do another one where I go over this. I got a case, man. I literally went to court to sue these people, man. That I got so many docs I need to read. I mean,
it's going on right now. It's going on right now.
No, this happened 2 years ago. We had to. You know what's so weird? So we pay our HOA, right?
Yep.
There's a lawyer on staff. And then we had to get another lawyer to sue this lawyer. And it was just crazy. I'm in court listening to them go back and forth. Let me just read what the allegations were. The board members in my place paid themselves approximately $150,000 from 2007 to 2014. They're not supposed to get paid. I've been on boards and I never got a penny.
Yeah, that sounds kind of shady.
At the annual meeting in October, homeowners discovered for the first time that our board members have been collecting salaries and hiding these salaries in the budget called management fees. This was revealed at the annual meeting of homeowners only after the homeowner, I won't say the name, specifically asked the president if the board members were receiving salaries. When that person asked how much they were being paid, the figures revealed did not match what was on the annual budget and were presented during the same meeting. We don't know if the information X stated was inaccurate or if the financial report was proven to be inaccurate. But the totals didn't match. The board started paying themselves somewhere in the 2000-2008 timeframe, and our best estimate based on the financial reports they distributed is that they have paid themselves $150,000 of our money. Without our knowledge, hidden in the reports as management fees.
Wow, they added some fees for themselves. So y'all sued them?
We sued them. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go over a whole case. It's already 10:20 now. I do another one, Will. Where I don't waste your time. I don't want to hold you on here. Where I'll go over the whole. I was going to court, listening, litigation, back and forth. Now they owe us. We got rid of all of them. We had a whole new board. I'm just saying.
Were they homeowners in the community?
They were, Will, and let me tell you, there's in the bylaws the board can't hire anybody to do work that's family or friend. They have to hire a non-armed length?
Conflict of interest.
Dude, they were getting kickbacks, Will. They were getting kickbacks, man. They found the checks. They subpoenaed the contractors, like for the landscaping company. subpoenaed their records to see the checks going to the board members. Dude, it was crazy, man.
Yo, just tell me they didn't go to Hampton.
Oh no, this is in Norfolk. Well, you know what? Some of the owners I found when I was in court, I met some other Hamptonians that were owners in this subdivision.
For real?
Yeah, man. Yeah, crazy. Okay, well, let's take some Q&A, my friend. You want to do some Q&A?
Let's do it.
This is very special, man. Thank you for your time. I know you.
We gotta do this more often. I gotta have you on one of my live streams. We'll pick a topic.
Yeah, man. I'm down. Well, I wanted to get you on my Monday Masters. I had planned on. I didn't know you were back in the country, to be honest with you. Hey, Amr, I'm going to bring you on in June or July, too. I met a 16-year-old entrepreneur down at the Vault Conference with Patrick David, man. Dude's 16.
How was the conference?
Man, off the chain, dude. I'm hanging out with so many millionaires, man. I mean, these dudes are. I interviewed a whole bunch of them, so I'm releasing interviews as time goes on. Don't forget, Roundup family. Please don't forget, that's everybody's intention. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe, please. Hit the like button below. And don't forget, tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon, go to my website, go to my website, Chris Haskins, or therealestateroundup.com to get all of my training products for under $100.
My bad, dude.
You good? Good. I'm just reading the questions. Go ahead. Yeah. Yes, Daniel. Thank you. Sweet dreams. That was Bubba. Yes. Please, class. Make sure. I'm not telling you. I love condos and I love townhouses. I own them. I think they're great. You just got to know what you're getting into.
You gotta know what you're getting into, exactly.
Yeah, it's no big deal to me. I love it. Shack Palace houses. Does it really matter which state you're from? You form your LLC in. Does it need to be Nevada, Delaware, Wyoming? We'll go to that. What do you think about that? I know everybody's kind of leery on what state their LLC is in.
I mean, that's an excellent question because every state has different laws.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that being married.
I don't want to get into that.
All right, we ain't gonna get into that, but I'm saying every state, you can't think a LLC in Ohio is the same as an LLC in Delaware or wherever else. You can't think the taxes are the same.
Yep.
So I'm not an expert on all of the different legalities of LLCs, but it's a super valid question because they're different. So you would want to look. Now, when it comes to real estate and the type of issues you would have with real estate, one of the things that I like to say related to this issue, like you want to have a limited liability corporation. That's a legal thing, right? So you get sued or something happens, there's some laws around that business and what it owns, right?
Yep.
Well, to me, like the bigger thing with that is, man, if you get some good business insurance, it's not that expensive. The business insurance can cover you for most of the scenarios that you could have as a
umbrella policy or a business policy. Will, is this something you got?
Both. Yeah, like for my so I have different kinds of businesses too. So I don't just do real estate, but I have like an umbrella policy, and it's like all kind of stuff protection. So that's a super valid question, and one where you would want to get some advice from people that know in different, that may have done it in a certain area, and they could explain why they did it. Me personally, I just went with Ohio. Since my business is in Ohio,
yeah,
I don't have any rental properties outside of Ohio. I got an Ohio-based LLC, but I got good insurance.
There you go.
Yeah, I got good insurance for situations that could come up. I have a landlord policy on all my houses. Matter of fact, I had to use it recently, and where I got an insurance payout higher than the value of a home I bought.
Tell me about that. What did you have to file a claim on? You know, I hate the word claim. Just
yeah, I wasn't going to even file a claim, bro. I had a fire in a house that I own. The kitchen burnt up, right?
Yeah.
So I looked at it. I was like, okay, it don't look like any structural damage. It looked like some electrical damage and some drywall damage. Smoke damage. Yep. So I was like, man, I could probably fix this for about $8,000 or $9,000, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't even know if it's worth filing a claim because I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to drop me, raise my prices, or anything, right? So I was getting ready to not file a claim.
that is so sad in this country, man. You got insurance, but you don't want to. It's just ludicrous, dude.
Right. So I was getting ready to not do it, but I started talking and getting quotes and stuff. And what'd you say? Yeah, high, right? Especially for fire remediation.
Yeah, man.
So I called my insurance company and I used the people that they recommended so that they could get a quote and come back with a payout for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the payout for this kitchen fire and the smoke damage was $75,000.
Oh, Jesus.
I bought the house for 55.
Oh yeah, you gotta take that though.
All right. Who you telling?
You gotta take
Now,
that.
you know, I know a blessing when I see one.
Yeah.
So I fix the house up real nice. And they only give you part, like they give you part of the money to get like everything fixed. And then they give you the other part of the money once it's done, so to make sure you do it.
Draws, yeah.
So yeah, that's what that was about.
Was that recently, Will?
Yeah, I'm going through it right now. I got an electrician going over there in a week.
Okay.
Dumpster going over there tomorrow, that kind of thing.
Maybe what I like to do. I'm gonna make a note of that. What do we do when we have a fire? I'm gonna make a note to do that.
Yes, sir.
I like that.
Have you ever had to deal with that?
I have, but it wasn't. I own. You know, if you own a unit that's attached to another unit, and the one next door catches on fire, I don't want to get into it.
And that's a good one for condos and HOAs and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So one of the things you got to pay as part of your HOA fees is insurance for the common structure.
Yep.
Right. So
the policy.
Yeah, you got to have two policies. The HOA has a policy, and then you got to have a policy for your internal structure. So that's what part of an HOA is for.
So we'll do that. I just made a note to do a fire damage video. That's a good point, Will.
Do it, bro.
Jack, before we leave here, Cali, LLCs, I don't want you to get hemmed up or held up by forming an LLC because you don't know what state you're in. Don't forget, Jessica Siegel's going to be on tomorrow at 3. She's an attorney in New York. She can help you with some of that stuff. But don't get held up. And Will can maybe touch on a little bit on this. Don't get held up. Do it in Nevada, Delaware. And if you do it in another state, Shaq, you're going to have to file 2 tax returns, dog. You can't file tax returns in VA for LLC you own in California. You know, you got to just remember, you can, well, I tell people all the time, you can layer this thing to the mountains. You can layer your asset protection, and I mean, you can go so far out with it. When you die, no one can undo it. You know? I don't know where your stuff is. Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying facts, man. You're right. If you got an LLC, because I was actually getting ready to set up a Montana LLC.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, man, it's about to get messy, crazy messy. And I was just like, forget it.
You got tax returns, income, you got to file different documents, and don't mess up. They come, I promise
you. Oh,
yeah.
Like, if the IRS comes after you, they might not take a dime from you, but the amount of time and stuff that you're going to have to do to support that, I got audited twice.
Me too.
Bro. The time is crazy, bro.
2 times.
They got me the first time, I owed them a little bit, but the second time, I was ready.
Me too. Well, we gotta go so that too. You gotta have, as long as you got your docs, you're good.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
All right, let's do this. Shaq, what is a condo fee? We've been talking about that all. I guess you can drop that.
Condo fees are basically shared expenses for maintaining the community that the condo is in. There's a variety of things that those fees will cover, like shared areas like cutting the grass.
Community areas.
Yeah, shared community areas like cutting the grass. You got water fountains and like beautification stuff. It'll pay for that. You got insurance on the shared external structure on the attached condos.
Sometimes they'll be repaired. It will cover the roof. Sometimes it will cover the roof and the exterior siding. Sometimes, right? Yeah,
that's correct. And so there's, and that's just some of the stuff that it'll cover.
Nice.
You know, but they're basically fees that you got to pay to maintain that community that you're in. And the reason why they're so low in single family home communities is that they don't have as much to do because everybody maintains their own house as a separate structure and their own grass And so there's very little to do, like in common areas, like a playground might be the only thing common.
Yep.
So in some of my communities where I have homes, they're like $100 a year. And the only thing they're maintaining is the sign and the lights in the front of the community and a playground.
Yeah.
Like mulching the playground and cutting the grass. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Well, I'm trying to figure. I pay $75 for one of my condos, right? All they do is cut the grass. We don't have a pool. Then I have another townhouse where it's like $30 a month. I don't get it. Why is some higher and some lower?
You know what? It could be something little, man, but that's why it's important to see those statements. Hopefully they give you statements. Like in my office condo, they give us a statement every single month.
Okay.
And there's all kind of stuff in there. And I look at it from time to time, and you'll see like it's a little higher this month because we're sharing paving the asphalt.
Gotcha.
Or it's a little lower because it's wintertime and there's no grass getting cut. But then they got to hire the snow plows and it's a little higher. So that's when I start paying attention to the fees. But in a housing community, they're not as diligent as in an office community. And I definitely don't get those reports every month.
Gotcha.
But hopefully you're supposed to get them every year. And sometimes they won't give them to you unless you come to that meeting. Like they have an annual meeting or something.
Yeah, they give it to you.
Yeah, but if you don't go, man, they might try to hide stuff and be embezzling like.
That's what they were doing. That's what we were doing.
Yeah.
Sam Patterson, Sam, thanks for bringing this content to me. I really appreciate you for bringing this up. In my area, selling to a tenant buyer, the HOA vets the tenant buyer. Oh, you went over that one already.
That's an interesting one right there.
Yeah, that was
It
criminal.
almost sounds like borderline, like they could accidentally get in trouble, kind of thing, right?
Wow. I don't know, man. I think with those bylaws supersede stuff. Robert, Will, would you still acquire properties that are in an HOA?
Yes, as long as there's nothing crazy, like what Chris was talking about earlier, like
No rentals.
no rentals, or you get stuck and there's no lenders that are able to rent in the community because there's too many rentals already there.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't happen in Ohio too much because they'll prevent you off the rip.
Gotcha.
So you go to rent it out, they'll be like, nope, we hit our maximum already. But you still could have got stuck buying a house thinking you was going to make a rental income, and now you got to flip it.
You better know. You
Yeah.
gotta know, man. You gotta check it. Jim Rohn says you gotta check.
But I look at any kind of deal. I don't care if it's like I bought vacant lots before and making come up, like I only did that once, but I'll look at anything, man.
Because even if it's some trash, you can always either tear it down or expand it. Expand it.
Yeah.
Shaq says seems like the real money is owning an HOA. You right. You're right, dog. Sam Patterson says workaround as the tenant buyers in LLC create operating agreement. Technically not owners. See, the problem when you start creating stuff and moving around, man, don't forget, and Sam, I'm not saying, I think you're right. I'm just saying when you work around things, a judge or a jury can look at something and say fraud where you're saying it's asset planning,
Yeah, yep. And then it's like up to some other people to make the decision.
Well, you don't want that, though.
Mm-mm.
You don't want somebody looking at something you did and they have to interpret what it is. Interpretation can be a monster. You know how that is. You go to the IRS, you go to get audited, man. Shoot, interpretation. What is your intent?
Bro.
I'm reading your mind.
Don't even get me started on that.
What do that do?
Yeah, let's do it.
Capital negotiations, new purchase coverage. Yes. Can we do a subject to or lease option in an HOA?
That's your expertise right there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've done them all the time. Absolutely. As long as you get that title, you can lease option it out. As long as you don't have these restrictions, you're good.
Yeah, I've never done that. You probably school me on that.
Yeah, man, we're gonna do that. Well, there I lost it. Sam. Oh, see live TV. He wants to know what Ohio communities do you operate in, Will?
Ohio. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm in about 3 or 4 different zip codes on the east side of Columbus and the south side. When I started, the important thing for me was I wanted the properties to be close to me because I already had a business to run. So I started looking at my zip code first.
Okay.
And I was the most aggressive investor in my zip code, hands down, for years.
Mm-hmm.
And even now, like, if it wasn't for consumers buying property in my zip code, I would go to toe to toe with anybody trying to invest in a house in my zip code because I feel like it's my monopoly area. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool.
Yeah. So I stuck to my neighborhood, and now where I'm from, in the inner city, in the hood and stuff, I stayed away from that because it was older houses, and I wasn't that experienced with the rehab. So I was afraid of dealing with basement issues, and I was afraid of dealing with major structural issues that old houses have. So I stayed where the houses was like 10 to 20 years old.
Good for you. Yeah.
But now in that same neighborhood, like where I grew up, when I grew up, the houses was like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, all the way up until about 2017 when the market started coming back. So them houses went from like 80,000 max to like 400,000 now because they're made out of brick and all that.
Lord.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty over there. My mom still got her crib over there.
Nice. Robert wants to know about how about this? Creating a land trust. Have the beneficiary as the renter, but slap beneficiary interest back to you. Robert, once again, man, I know you're not saying that to be misconstruing or to mislead anyone on purpose, but once again, when you start doing something when you start doing something to make what you're doing look different to a third party, when you do something to make it look different to a third party, I promise you, man, you don't want to go into that. Don't want to go into that. The word starts with an F. I'm not going to even say the word. F-R. Yeah. My friend went to jail for that. So be careful. It's the specific definition of fraud. It's something of the guidelines of when you do an action to make the third party give up something without they wouldn't have given it up unless you did this action.
Was it serious crime or was it like a 60-day?
Oh man, he did wire fraud. Wire fraud, dude, is so big, bro. He went to jail. He was an attorney. Went to jail for 3 or 4 years.
Dang.
Over something small. He just.
Dang.
David.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
No. What percentage, David Miranda Jr., hey, what percentage should I be taking out of the tenant's rent for repairs, taxes, and maintenance? That's a good one, Will.
That's a good one. What's yours? What you tell me? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I have the benefit of business backing up all my investments, so I don't have to budget that granularity.
Yeah.
So I haven't looked at it, but I'll be curious as to what your thoughts are too.
You know what, David and Will, I do lease options, Will. So let me show you this one we just printed out. Let me show you the condition of this one that I just printed out, Will, if you don't mind. This is why I love lease options. Oh shoot, I can't show you. I'm on my wife's. Hold on, can I find it online? Nah, we'll come back and show you why I do. Can I find it? Nah, I deleted it off Craigslist. I can't find it. But I do a bunch of lease options. I rented this house out the other day. Probably needed a good 20 worth of work. So we just run them as is. I don't even save for repairs on these. If something comes up, we'll do it. And I have other income, David, so I don't have to set aside a percentage of my rents. But I would definitely, if I was doing only rentals, I would set aside 10%. 10% for rentals, 1 month rent out of the year. It's gonna come up. That's why I love lease options. Because I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna show you, David. You make the same amount of money on lease options than you do with rentals. Problem is, you got vacancies on both sides. You get less rent on lease options, but you do no repairs. You got vacancies, so. Taxes, that's different in every state. My taxes is once again going to be about $100 a month on all mine. Is that where you at? What are your taxes then following on yours on the average, Will, on your rental units? Mine are 100, 120, 130.
The taxes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, on the house?
State tax. Yeah.
Oh, Like for a house that's about, let's say a house is 100,000.
Yeah.
The taxes might be $100.
Yeah,
like,
that's about
a month.
that's what we are here.
The taxes on a house, like my most expensive taxes on a house that's worth about 220 are 300 plus a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you something though. Investor to investor, related to the question about how much money you should have sitting aside for repairs.
Mm-hmm.
In your experience, what class of repairs have been the most expensive? Like for me, it's plumbing. Plumbing kills me, bro. I get killed. Water tanks, leaks, and plumbers are expensive here. Everything. It's plumbing kills me.
Really?
Yeah.
Hot water here should be no more than 500. It's 250 for the hot water here, 250 for labor.
Yeah, they killing me up here, bro. Be like about $700-800.
Wow, yeah, that is high. Right.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest things are central heating and air, roof.
HVAC.
Roof,
Yeah,
30,000.
that's interesting. I wonder, is it the is it like down there? Is it the environment that makes the roofing and stuff more like susceptible, or the materials that they use and stuff? Like, I don't have too many problems with roofing or HVAC too much.
Up there.
But the plumbing, bro. Plumbers get paid here, bro.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, plumbers be 6 figures plus.
What?
Yes, pimp my ride. They come up to you, fix your stuff, and be coming up, pull up in a Ferrari or something.
Hold up, though. I tell you, Will, I've been doing this so long. I got some good guys, right? So I have a guy that's a super at a hotel. I get him to do stuff. I have another guy that's general, so he lets me use his hourly guy to come do stuff. So, I'm not hiring per, generally speaking, per job. These dudes are kind of people I've been known for.
Man, but I got people that I know. It depends on the level of the repair. Like, you know what I mean? Because see, the problem with plumbing is it's got to be fixed right away. Usually,
that's
people,
true.
You know what I'm saying? People get a shower or something's leaking like crazy, and they need an emergency. So my guys that are cheaper, they're like the jack of all trade dudes.
Yeah, they'll be there in 2, 3, 4 days next week.
Yeah, right. Because they busy, right? Then you got to call that emergency plumber and get ready. Yeah, you gonna get it. I get killed.
Okay, Shaq was calling about do we invest in fire damaged homes?
I would all day. Why not?
Yeah. He also wanted to know about his hard money lender wants him to form an LLC. That's right. Hard money guys will not loan to human beings. They only loan to LLCs. This is how it works. Young 2 times. He said he already knows you, Will.
Yep.
Daniel wants to know, Will, what's more profitable, condos or houses in the HOA world?
Houses for sure, hands down. Because houses, you get it two ways. Your HOA fees are lower with your houses, your single family homes. So you have a little bit more room for profit. You can charge more for single family homes because they're not a tax, and usually they might be a little bit bigger. They might have a basement where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3, the houses appreciate way more than the condos.
That's true. Yeah.
Way more.
Very true. That's a good point.
Yeah. You can't. Yeah, you can't. That wins every time around here.
Ultimate Bargains. He is in Nevada, so he said the LLC shack is expensive. Check Anderson Business Advisors channel on YouTube to check that out. Justin, hey Justin. Let's see your last name. Will, he wants to buy his first student rental property. What should he do? Wow, that's a big one, Will. What should he do?
You know what? I don't have any. Do you have any?
I don't. I guess I could. I'm just gonna tear your shit up, man.
Yeah, right.
I know what I was doing. I was in school.
Okay, but you gotta remember, right? Where I'm at, the student rental market is super competitive because I'm by the first or second largest college in the country. I'm by Ohio State.
Okay.
It's been competitive forever, and I'm sure it's highly profitable. But I'll be going down there dealing with people that got pockets way deeper than mine.
Yeah.
So I haven't dabbled in that I haven't dabbled in that because I don't want to compete with them dudes. But I'm sure it can be profitable, but you got to probably take your wear and tear on your property is at a whole different level.
Yeah, you're right. Wow.
So you got to be ready for that.
Justin, Will, what do you think about? Well, my thing is, listen, at least think about Airbnb. You don't even have to own a house. We got 2 now that I'm going to be doing. Well, I don't know yet. I'm looking at doing Airbnb, and I don't even own them. We can pull out $500 to $600 a month cash flow.
I have.
Justin,
Go ahead.
you got one?
Go ahead.
I was saying, Will might own one of them, but I'm just saying, I have an Airbnb that I don't even own, and we're pulling out. I mean, we did $1,000 in cash flow last month. I mean, that's the profit, Justin. So I'm just asking you just to consider that as opposed to trying to buy it and rent out to students. If you do an Airbnb, you could just rent it from somebody and just rent it out to the Airbnb.
I had one house set up for Airbnb. I did it as an experiment, and it was my most profitable property, hands down.
Hands down.
By a long shot.
Wow, good for you, Will. Man, this Airbnb is real. It is real, client.
You know, it's so real. Like in some cities, they got a problem with it. Like in Florida, in them tourist cities, they're getting overrun with investors that want to buy houses to make Airbnb money. So they start making, similar to the HOA issue, they started making rules and laws about
stupid people, man,
having too many Airbnbs.
These government, you know what's weird? My mentor told me wherever you got prosperity, you got somebody trying to take it from you. So the governments are trying to block. You know what? The hotel people are just mad. They're just mad.
Mm-hmm.
They got those lobbies. All right. You love David. Yeah, my shirt. Thank you, my friend. Oh, yeah. David, what's up, Dave? See, I was hanging out with David down at the vault, at the vault conference. Justin, I think he's okay, let's see. You can think about leasing. See, Justin, that's why you're here, my friend.
Airbnb.
Tell you, man, that Airbnb joint is. Whew.
Yeah, I had somebody get my Airbnb, bro. They were in town for like 3 or 4 months.
Oh my Lord, are you joking?
My full rate for 3 or 4 months, and took care of the house better than I would have.
Man, Airbnb, I don't know what it is. I went yesterday to do check the Wi-Fi at mine. They keep the place spotless.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that comes. Only problems that I'm having with mine is they like to do their hair. You know how the ladies like to get hotel rooms and leave the hair everywhere, which I'm cool with that. I'm not tripping with that. And sometimes they do like to leave a lot of food from eating out because they never use the kitchen. They bring food in. But other than that, dude, no problems. Well, matter of fact, I'm doing a video, Airbnb tenant move out as opposed to a lease option tenant move out. So you can see it's like night and day.
That's a good one.
Just imagine, Will, you know, you walk into an Airbnb tenant that stay, and then you go to your regular rental, they trashed it.
Oh yeah, it's a big difference.
It's a big difference. Robel, yep, this is the Lambo guy. This is him. I got him. I got him. I can't wait to show up and you and me show up to a presentation doing something, Will. That's gonna be wow. All right, almost at the end. Doral, hey, I would like to be an investor, need a sponsor. I don't know what that means. That's all we got. Final thoughts, my friend Will, on buying in an HOA association. You know, and at the end of the day, Will, I don't want to scare people off from not doing it because I still think that it's okay. I do it, you know, but I want to know your final thoughts on buying houses with an HOA.
Doing this live stream just reminded me how careful you got to be when you're buying in a community that has an aggressive HOA or aggressive rules in their HOA, like bylaws. So you just got to be careful of what you're getting into before you get into it, because you just pointed out some scenarios that I didn't even experience and I would not want to experience, but I wouldn't be afraid to buy it. You know, most of the houses I have HOAs.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be afraid to buy it in a community with an HOA, but you better know like what you're dealing with. And if you got a good realtor, sometimes they'll warn you. Like my realtor has brought up issues to me before. You know.
So basically, what you're getting into. I like the way you're saying that.
Yes, sir.
I'm the same way. Like, okay, you know, it's kind of like when a deal comes across, any deal, I look at it, I'm like, okay, this looks like it could work. Let's go down the list. Boom, 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 boom. Does it have this? Does it have that? Let's just check the bylaws. Let's check this. Ask questions before you even get into it. Because once you're in it, man, you're done. Roundup family, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And tomorrow at 12 o'clock, the sale at chrishaskins.com will start. Will, if anybody wants to reach out to you on social media, how do they get in touch with you, my friend?
Yeah. On Instagram is Will Motivation. On YouTube, it's Will Motivation or Real Estate 101. Real Estate 101 is strictly real estate content. Will Motivation is me playing around with cars and stuff like that the real estate affords.
Okay. Roundup family, I'll see. I didn't have time to go over. I'm going to do a whole case study on this litigation that I went through in my HOA. Just don't have the time. I'll do that on part 2. I'll see you tomorrow with Jessica Siegel, and don't forget to go to chrishaskins.com to get all your real estate training needs tomorrow at 12. God bless you, Roundup family. I'll see you soon. Peace.
Peace.